Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. We are talking about my top Oracle decks of 2024. These were the decks that I either used the most or had the most impact in my readings in 2024. None of these decks, I don't think I bought this year. These are decks that go way back for me, or I think the most recent one to my collection was in 2022. So I've had a lot of time with the decks I'm going to talk to you all about today. Essentially, these are the decks that I would recommend to those who ask me, what Oracle deck would you recommend I start with, or what Oracle deck do you use that really helps you out in your readings? It would probably come down to this list here. So I'm excited to share with you what those decks are. And you all know I have a lot of Oracle decks. So for me to dwindle it down to this short list was challenging. But on the other hand, when I looked at the hard data, because I track my decks that I use each month on a spreadsheet. Month over month, I look and see which ones were standing out. And I even have a comment section on what reading I did or used the deck with or first, but nevertheless, I have hard data to support my usage of these decks. So, all around, I love them dearly. If I had to get rid of my entire collection, but these decks, it'd be these decks, okay? All right, let's get into it. We're starting the countdown with this one. This is the Signs of the Times Oracle by Crystal Banner, a Hay House deck, a 44-card deck and guidebook, okay? This, out of all the decks we're going to discuss today, is the newest to the collection. I have new to the collection Oracle decks, right, that I bought recently, but this was bought in 2022. So I've had it for a while, spent some time with it, and I used it a handful of times in readings. A couple of client readings, mostly for my Poised to Leap membership, when I was working with reading labs or doing readings for our little collective. Here's the card backs. And then I did a reading for myself recently. Last month, about a week and a half before Thanksgiving, I fell and had a deep gash in my knee. Well, it was below my knee, my shin. And it's been a painful recovery. It really has been, to the point I was like, am I ever going to heal? Am I ever going to recover? Because you don't realize how much you depend on your legs and such until they're injured and needing to just kind of sit still for a minute. It wasn't even just the wound. It was some complications with the healing process. I got a chemical burn. It was just all kinds of craziness. And so, something called me to work with this deck. And I'll show you in a moment what were the cards, because I sensed I needed some encouragement about my leg injury, not relationships. And so it's a contemporary art type of deck. It's fresh, it's bright. It has a symbol here that you can go with, heart, love. It's really a lovely deck. And you can use it in standalone readings or, tarot readings. I do both. I use them with both. And I didn't use this deck a whole heck of a lot. I used it a handful of times, but it was the impact of the readings that I got that stands out to me. So the readings I did with it in 2024 resonated. And thankfully, I memorialized these readings. Lotus flower, enlightenment. It's just so fun. So I'll show you the cards that I got. So I think it was in this order. It was good luck or coins. Zoom in. Evil eye, protection, And recycle, recover. And so I was like, that is the nod from the universe that, yes, I am going to, the leg injury is going to recover. And that I need to protect it further, you know, wound care, and also be a little more vigilant in protecting myself against such things like falls. And the good luck card was like a sign. It was a positive sign that, yes, you're going to have a positive turn in your recovery. And I pulled some tarot cards, and I got the timing of several more weeks before it fully feels like, okay, we're on our way. And I accepted that. So I did a little reading for myself. Here's the guidebook. Yeah. So I wanted to share that little reading I did for myself with you, and also to share about this deck. And it is the newest one of the 6 I talk about today. 2022 is when I added it to the collection. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, next up in our countdown is, I'll show you, I'll take it out of the bag. It is the Dark Moon Damsel Oracle. Love, love, love that it's tarot sized and beautiful backs. I've had this deck for a long time, since 2019. And for a while it was out of print. Here, I'll show you some of the cards. And then the original creator decided to not sell it anymore, and to make it, I guess, maybe pass it on to someone else who's selling the deck on Printer Studio. That's what I believe I read somewhere on the original creator's website. If I'm wrong, let me know. But it is now available on Printer Studio, being sold by the new person. And the guidebook is available on the website. So I downloaded that baby, and I have it saved to my computer and my drive, like my, you know, cloud or whatever. Isn't that beautiful? I used this a handful of times as well. Again, one of those readings that sticks with you for a while. That's what I was getting with this deck. I always do. It's beautiful. People always ask about it, clients or anyone who sees me working with it, like, what deck is that? And so it's just special to me. It's been with me for a while. 2019. I love a keyword like discern. Floating in harmony. And it's been with me. It's been through some highs and lows since 2019, and all sorts of big changes in my life, and it's still here, and it still reads beautifully for me. I really enjoy it. The artwork is beautiful. For the longest time, I didn't want to share the flip through that I have recorded because it had been out of print for so long, and it can be sometimes a pain to share videos, you know, on the channel of out of print decks, because people are like, well, why did you share it if I can't buy it? But then there's other people who tell me, no, share it because you never know if it comes back in print, and some of us have the deck and we want your take on the deck. So, you know, you just kind of have to go with the flow on that. That's what I do. So I eventually shared the flip through on the channel, and I'll drop a link in the description box of the walkthrough of the cards. But yeah, it is the Dark Moon Damsel Oracle. Fragile. Oh, keywords are so special. Do a couple more. I was looking for a specific one. Resilient. Flourish. Okay, a few more. Here's boxed in. There's one I want to show you all. Magic. But I'm just going to find it. I'm going to find my favorites. There it is. Release. They're all great. Here's release. Sever. Detach. And bear. Amazing, amazing little deck. Let me know if you have it and what your thoughts on, the whole, journey of this particular deck. And yeah, give me some insider information about all of that. I just want to make sure I'm giving the right information, because that thought for sure, I read somewhere that the old creator was giving it to a new someone. I want to be right about that, and we can always do a correction in the comments section. All right, friends, let's move on to the next one. All right, next up in our countdown is The Spirit Animal Wisdom by Katie Jane Wright, illustrated by Nikki Strange. And it's a 50-card deck and guidebook. I bought it on Amazon also in 2019, so I've had it a while. It's one of the few animal decks I have in my collection, and I absolutely love it. I think because I love it so much, I just never really felt the need to be adding a bunch of animal decks. I don't need to have a bunch of them. But oh my goodness, I have to share it with you. This gorgeous deck. So I like to use these readings when I'm doing like live readings on the channel, or sometimes I use it in client readings. Sometimes I use it for readings for myself. It's just really a fabulous deck to use in many different settings, and whether you read for others or read for yourself. What's cool about the guidebook is it'll have the elements of the card and then the meaning, what's on the card, because there's an extra meaning here, and then the element. Sometimes it's more than one element, sometimes it's just one. And then it has crystal companions: diamond, herkimer, diamond, clear quartz. So it has like 3 different recommendations for crystals to use with this particular card. So it's a special little deck. Let's look at the card backs. Here's Phoenix. It's a sea turtle: conservation, make conscious choices. And it's obviously the element of water. Starfish. 2 elements here: polar bear, nurture. Allow any anxieties and worries to be gently released and offered up to be healed. Giraffe. The bigger picture. Take a step back and gather your thoughts and feelings. Dolphin. Elephant. Hare, strength. Take time to make clear decisions. Bring awareness and light to the situation. Spider. Just a lovely deck. I love like how I can just use it and pick right up on it. Even the animals evoke something with my intuition. I'm not like a super like animal deck lover. So for it to like speak to me, I think it's a great deck. There's Chameleon. Soul Tribe, it is safe to be seen. Swan, graceful transformation. Soften your heart and find your flow. Frog, stepping into your power. Don't take back a backseat in your story. It's time to step up. Yeah, so if you want to see the full flip through, check out the link in the description box down below. Let's look at one more on the way out. Koi Carp, abundance. Yeah, that's a good one to end on. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next on our countdown is the White Rabbit Oracle. Okay, 1 and 2. I got, I believe, the first edition in 2017. I can't recall when I added the second edition, but what I did was I combined the two editions. And here's the card back from the first, and here's the card back from the second edition, but they're the same size. And my apologies, it just started raining, so you may hear that in the background. Thunder, rain. I like recording it when the rain is going. So it's a chunky one when you combine the two. And some of the keywords do repeat, but it's not a big deal for me, and I'll show you why. So let's look through some of the cards. I believe this deck is still available. Ariana Siegel is the creator, and she, I want to say it might be on like Printer Studio or Make Plain Cards or one of the, you know, those print-on-demand publishing or publishers. Balance. I think there's two different desires, but totally different images. And I'll show you the little keywords in a moment and how there may be variances with it, the meanings. Same keyword, different artwork, different key meanings. So if you had the two editions, it'd be okay to, you know, combine your deck. I love this deck. I've been using it for so many years. I know it well. I go through periods where I'm using it all the time, month after month, and then there'll be like lulls where I'm not using it. But every time I pick it up, it's like an old friend, connecting with an old friend. I love it. I like to use it in some of my New Year's readings, like as a part of my opening oracle reading that I do at the start of the New Year's reading. And I'll show you the guidebook. So I printed it out on PDF and had it bound. I need to rebind this. It's a mess, but I take a lot of different guidebook printouts and print them up and then combine them. So that's what we got going here. But you'll have the meanings. It says abundance, reaping fruits of efforts, connection to nature, gratitude, or shift scarcity consciousness. So that's like the shadow aspect, the or. And let me see one that I think, let's see. So this is the first edition. Let's go to the second edition. White Rabbit Oracle 2. Let's see one that we have discernment. Okay, we have two different discernments. Game face, hiding true self, seeing deeper truth, or need to look under surface for truth. In the discernment card in the second edition, it says here, where are you? Seeing through illusion, learning truth, steady learning, or need to look more closely at situation or someone. Okay, so I just love, combining it. I keep it in this little bag. Cool little bag. And I've recently been using this deck with the When Women Had Wings Tarot. And I find it to be a magical combination. Let's go through some combos. Look at that. Oh, wow. Queen of Swords, guidance. Yes. I've been loving combining these decks. These two decks, When Women Had Wings, and it'll be here. And the White Rabbit Oracle. Let's see what we got. Look at that. Exploration, Ten of Cups. Wow, look at the full moon. In both pics. That is so cool. And it's a ship. Cups, water element. I don't know, it's really cool. Interesting. Let's see what comes up next. Opportunity. The Devil. Now this is an interesting combination. You got the playing cards in the background. A little gambling. She almost looks like where you would see like in the old gambling halls, and she's serving up a little drink while you're playing cards or something. The Devil. Wow. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with combining these two. You have imprints. It's late here. The Emperor and Remembrance. Fantastic combination. We'll do one more. We have Page of Cups and Joy. Yeah. So that's the White Rabbit Oracle, and I've been using it quite a bit, and I've had it for many years, so I'm quite familiar with it, and I highly recommend it. I enjoy working with it, and I would love to hear from you on what you think of this deck or the deck combo with the When Women Had Wings Tarot. And yeah, let's move on to our next one in the countdown. All right, so this is the next one on the list, number 2, the number 2 spot. And, well, it almost doesn't even need an introduction, but it is my beloved little Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle. Okay, and I have 2 editions. I have the Bloody Hell edition, Deviant Moon. And what I did was, let's see, do I still have it? Yeah. When I got the original decks, they came with like these little guides here, right? I gotta be careful with them. So this is what the guides would be. These folded little note pages, parchment note pages. And then I put it in my little printed PDF or my copies of my guidebooks where I'm buying them. And so I made copies of it so I could preserve them and not tear them up by constantly looking at them. Now I don't even look at this one because I have it digital on my computer. I saved a PDF copy on my computer, and I like to consult and review the keywords on a regular basis with this deck. So we'll set that to the side. If you've watched my Mystery Mystic or Maritime Mysteries readings that I do on the channel, you know that I use this deck like almost exclusively for those types of readings. But the truth is, I've used this deck for client readings. It is a great reader. You can use it. I don't usually use it with like tarot cards, or maybe I might clarify something with tarot when I use it for a client. But typically I just work with the cards themselves. It's an oracle deck, but it almost feels like its own little system, and it gives the vibe of Lenormand or Kipper, or like, you know, the other types of cartomancy decks out there. Hands down, this would be definitely one of my top 5 oracle decks of all time, although I am not inclined to do an all-time favorite oracle deck video at all. I don't want to be pigeonholed, but this would be one of the top ones for sure. They have the poker size edition, which I'll show you now, in this regular like color, and I thought about getting it, but then I'm really attached to this one. I build it up over time. Every time there was more additions that came out, I added to it, I edged it. I've edged it like a couple of, like probably a handful of times now, maybe 2 or 3 times. And I really have a great connection with it. So it was used a lot. Sometimes, most times I use this one, but every now and then I'm called to use this edition. And this is slightly bigger with the poker. Not slightly, actually, it's kind of quite a bit bigger. Yeah. Here's some card backs. Let's look through a couple of those. And I have it like the guidebook digital on my computer, because if I'm doing a mystery mystic reading, sometimes I'll glance over at that guidebook on the computer and just be able to scroll to the keyword that I need. Furthermore, it is the complete guidebook, because with the original Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, this little deck, there was always like these additional cards being added for a period of time. And I got this deck in 2017. It's a 2017 deck. I forgot to mention that in the beginning of this segment. And over the years, the creator, Patrick Valenza, would add more cards to the deck. So we would be getting cards, you know, left and right for a while. And so the complete guidebook was online. And that, my friends, is my beloved Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle. Are you ready for number 1? Can you guess what number 1 is? If you all know me for a while, then you probably could guess, because this one makes it to the list time and time again. All right, let's get to it. All right, friends, we are now at number 1. Number 1, drum roll. Power of Surrender. Number 1. And yes, it is one that comes on my list year after year after year. Sometimes it's number 1, sometimes it's not. This year it's definitely number 1, because it just does not disappoint for me. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. When people ask me what deck should they start out with an oracle, or if they are ready to get their second oracle, maybe they've, you know, been working with oracles for a while, I say, get this one. This one is wonderful, whether you want to read the little key phrases or not. I work with it all the time, almost every day. Okay, that's why I love it so much. I've had this deck for a number of years, since 2016. I think this might be my second copy. I bought a copy for my son, but this is my second copy, because the first one was quite worn. It's a Hay House deck. And I do have a deck in focus video that goes into my relationship with this deck. And not much has changed. I use it in all kinds of client readings, love readings, career readings. It's what I use, what I call my closing oracle message. I do sometimes an opening oracle reading, and then sometimes I do a closing oracle reading, and I'll pull 3 cards from this deck. And sometimes I just want a quick message, so I'll pull 1 or 2 cards for myself. I've used it, mostly for my private clients, like the ones who meet with me face to face, or they come to me through my website or through my Etsy shop. But yeah, I've also used them on the hotlines as well. It is hands down one of my absolute top decks. Like, really and truly, the last few decks that I talked about with you all today, I would say they would be in my top 5 or top 10 oracle decks of all time. And this is for one. This would be that one where I'm like, I would not want to have my collection without it. If I had to get rid of all the oracle decks and keep one, this would be it. It says, surrender to silence in quiet meditation or contemplation. Let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. And I love how it doesn't shy away from more challenging, topics, like surrender your fear of intimacy. And intimacy is not just romantic intimacy, right? So it really can be very open-ended, different types of relationships. Surrender negative thinking. And it says you have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. There's another one in here. Let me see. Surrender your addictions. So it doesn't shy away from the tough keywords. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. I have a challenge with certain oracle decks where it's just really positive leaning. It's very heavily positive leaning. Nothing wrong with that. There's always a time for those kind of decks. But I need a deck that is going to be very well rounded, can cover many different areas, can have quite a few of those types of uplifting cards, but also don't shy away from certain elements of the human condition that we deal with every single day. It says, surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. And time again, when I do the closing oracle reading, and I pull the 3 cards, it always sums up the entire reading, the entire tarot and oracle reading I did for the client. The 3 cards usually just hit spot on to what the big themes were. So yeah, the power of surrender is one I highly recommend over and over again with good reason. I've had it since 2016. It is my number 1 deck of 2024. And yeah, I love it. Love it. There you have it, folks. That is my top 6 oracle decks of 2024. The ones that were impactful for me, or the ones I used a lot in this current year. And I could have added more, but this video would have been entirely too long. I wanted to take my time and express to you why I love these decks this year. Okay? So let me know in the comment section down below what oracle decks you were loving in 2024 and why. I can't wait to hear from you. Do me a favor on your way out. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching my little series of my top, whatever number of decks for the year videos. It's been a lot of fun making them. All right, friends, take very good care of yourselves. Bye for now.